Here we have the Jasper RAMAN spectrometer. To the right we have the overall power supply as well as the laser power supplies. So now we are going to turn on the RAMAN spectrometer. So the overall power supply is this green button here, and I'm going to flip this on to turn on the RAMAN. The black box in the back controls the red and green power supply. So I'm just going to press this power button and that turns on red and green laser. If you do need the blue laser, you turn this key once clockwise, and once you see this orange light come on, that means that the blue laser is on. So once you're logged into FOM, the screen should appear like this, and you're going to open Spectrum Manager to open the software. So under Instrument, you'll see Micro Spectrum Measurement as well as Micro Imaging Measurement. To take the measurements for your sample, you're going to open Micro Imaging Measurement. And the software should take a couple seconds to open up, but while that is opening, you can go ahead and open the door to the RAMAN. So inside the RAMAN, this is called the stage, and this here is the calibration sample. So this slide always stays inside of the RAMAN. Here we have silicon, which is what we use to calibrate with, and we also have polypropylene. So above here we have some different microscope lens, different magnification. So the red one is the 5x lens. This lime green or yellow is the 20x. This white one is a 100x lens. This is called the MPLN 100x. And this black lens is called the long working distance 100x. So the difference between the two 100x lens is that the MPLN has to get really close to the sample to be in focus, whereas the long working distance, there can be some distance between the lens and the sample and still be in focus. So to start off with the calibrations, we're going to turn back to the 5x lens, and when you're changing the microscope lens, you want to turn it using this black scroll. So I'm going to put my sample into the sample holder at the top here, and I'm just going to slide it in. And there is a metal prong to the left of it that you slide the sample against. So again, this is the stage for the sample. The stage moves up and down, which is Z, left to right, back and front, which is X and Y. And that can be controlled using the software or using the joystick. So now that the software is loaded up, and we have our silicon's calibration sample in the RAMAN, the next step is to move the stage up closer towards the lens and get the sample in focus. So to move the stage up, there are two ways that I can do it, which is by using the scroll on the joystick, or by simply inputting the numbers into this C coordinate here. So I'm going to start off by moving the stage to 25,000, and now I'm going to click move. Now that I have the sample up at 25,000, I'm going to turn off the lighting microscope just so that I can get a better look at exactly where the microscope is looking down on the sample itself. And now I'm going to do auto. And now the sample is coming into focus. So I'm going to just stay on the edge of the calibration sample just to get an idea of if it is in focus or not. I'm going to click auto again to see if it improves the image. And now using the scroll on the joystick, I'm going to decrease the Z. So as you can see, Z is dropping, and this here is just to get the sample more in focus. So it seems pretty in focus there, and I'm going to pick a spot to focus on. So I can double click on the spot and it will automatically come to the center of the screen. Another thing is that you don't want to be too zoomed in or too zoomed out. So when you're looking at the image, you don't want to be too zoomed in where you can't see as much as you would be able to, and you don't want to be too zoomed out. So now that I found a spot, I've brought it to the center of the screen and my sample is in focus. I can move my lens to 20x now. So again, to move the lens across, I'm gonna just turn it, and you want to be mindful of how close your lens is to your sample. So you want to make sure that your sample is as flat as possible, or you might want to move down the stage if you do have a thicker sample. Again, I'm repeating the same steps for the 20x lens. I'm not moving it, all I'm doing is adjusting the lighting, and I will change the Z, so I will decrease the Z, but I'm not shifting it left or right. So I'm decreasing. And you can see that there are some spots here. So I'm just going to bring this one into focus. So now that I have my sample in focus, I'm going to switch to the 100x now. Now I'm going to switch to the 100x lens, the long working distance. And again, you want to be mindful of changing the lens and how close it gets to the sample, because you do not want to hit the lens on your sample. So this here is the 100x long working distance lens. So again, I'm gonna increase the brightness. So as you can see here, there are several images on the screen. And one way to know if you're looking directly at your sample or if you're looking at a virtual image behind a microscope lens is to simply move it. So you can see these two dark spots here are moving, but this dark spot here is not moving. So this is how you know that this is the back of the lens, essentially a virtual image. So you want to ensure that you get these spots in focus rather than this one. So again, I'm going to be dropping my Z. And sample seems in focus here. So now that is done, we can go ahead and close the door to begin calibration. Now we're going to close the door to begin the calibration. Now when you're closing the door for calibration, once the laser is on, you need to hear click to know if the laser comes on. Now due to wear and tear with the spectrometer itself, the door might not close completely, so the laser would not come on. And to close it, you just press gently on it, and that click there signifies that the laser is on. If you hear a double click like this, the laser would come off. So just gently press on it again. And if it clicks on and off, open the door and close it again. So again,